retired Major General Spider Marks is out front with me now. So General Marks, you know, when we talk about this Marine Expeditionary Unit on the way,
right,
perhaps more boots on the ground, and you know that would be in theater to do a mission. Let's go through what they could do. Now, Kharg Island, we've talked about. He has been talking about Kharg Island by name, Donald Trump, since 1988. So when he says now he could take Kharg Island anytime we want, what would it look like to take it? It's small, but that is not everything.
No, it's not. It's offshore, as you can see right here. Let me get this thing to cooperate with me. Kharg Island is really very, very close to the shoreline, but it is the main terminal for all oil exports coming out of Iran. About 20% for the world comes through the Straits. The challenge with this mission is that coming ashore here, even though it's probably not contested right now because the military capacity has been reduced, but we don't know. And as an intel guy, I would want to know, what has Iran done in the interim between the reduction of that military capability a number of days ago and where we are today?
Yeah.
So there's always challenge associated with coming ashore. And you've got this terminal that is going to be used, I think primarily that's all about leverage, more than it is bringing in a capacity to get that thing up and running.
Right, and so you would put, I mean, it would require obviously significant boots on the ground to take that and hold it, in the sense of you don't know what could be coming, incoming, especially because it's so close to shore.
Correct.
So there's that. Then, you know, you and I talked about securing the Strait of Hormuz quite a bit, because you were talking about the very mountainous terrain, which would give Iran, it's also on the other side, but that's not the side where the fire would be coming from, on the Iranian side, the benefit of height. So how would ground troops be used in the Strait?
Yeah, so what you have en route is an amphibious ready group Marine Expeditionary Unit. It's a mouthful, and what that means is this is an incredibly capable force that can can force itself on shore, and it's comprised of elements like this. This is a CH-53 heavy lift helicopter grabbing this artillery piece, which is an M777. This is what we call the beginning of an artillery raid. You take this thing off a ship, you land it where you want it to go.
So then you
ashore,
have artillery capability.
And then you've got counterfire capability within minutes. Also within that capability, these things called Amtraks, incredibly capable. They swim, as you can see, and inside this is about 20 plus Marines. They will disembark to begin their missions. What also they have, obviously, is vertical lift, gunships, the Cobra's incredibly dependable, and also the Osprey, again, vertical lift. You don't need a runway. You can come off the deck of a ship, you can land anywhere, and then you disembark about 30 to 40 Marines.
Okay, so that's what they would be able to move quickly, although obviously when you meet with resistance, there is a risk of real loss of life, and also how do you get offshore once you get on, as you mentioned a moment ago in our conversation. Now, today Netanyahu says Iran no longer has the ability to enrich uranium, which is obviously significant. Obviously, Trump had said the program was obliterated last summer, actually.
Right.
So it's unclear what those terms at this point really mean. However, there are 3 main nuclear sites, and I say main for a reason, because we only know what we know in terms of where, say, enriched uranium could be stored. We know those, but if we understand it's in those canisters, it could be a lot of different places, and that would change the whole calculus for boots on the ground, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. First of all, look at the distance that we're talking of. If we had forces here, or if the U.S. came ashore here, and you were going to try to put forces there, now you certainly wouldn't have to drive up there. I mean, you could have some aviation airborne operation to drop them in. But the challenge is, these are monstrous facilities, and to your very point, the enriched uranium isn't necessarily here. It could be dispersed into military compounds, into somebody's backyard, into a garage, underground facilities, which are all along the mountains here. So if you get there, and let me show you the significance of this. This is Natanz. This is a monster facility. This would eat up ground forces. Marines would have to guard intersections. They'd have to be here. They'd have to go into each one of these buildings. Is anything there? Right. And then once they get in a building, they don't know what they're looking at.
You have to clear it. You have to. Then there's what's underneath it, and then there's the other ones.
Who's going to come in and say, "Yep, that's radioactive," or "No, that's inert"? And that takes other experts to have to be a part of this endeavor. Yeah. We did this in Iraq, the sensitive site exploitation mission. Yeah. We did this in the early stages of Iraq. we found all those sites. It became very, very difficult, and every time we got one, we put experts in there to determine this equals something, this equals something.
Painstaking and excruciatingly time-consuming.
And detailed, yes, ma'am.